hands. We still have a game on our hands. We still have a tie on our hands as well, as it's goalless in the second leg at Stamford Bridge between Chelsea and Real Madrid. You see there Chelsea having a really good opportunity at the very end, but just couldn't convert. We'll take a look at the highlights and we'll have the analysis from the full crew after this quick commercial break. Stay with us. Yeah, a lot to get into as we take a look at what's happening at halftime in the second leg in this quarter-final round stage here. AC Milan, they're leading Napoli inside the Maradona by a 0-0. Yeah, you heard that right. AC Milan, they've had several opportunities to stretch that lead. They have taken one opportunity. They lead Napoli by a 0-0. As a matter of fact, let's see how they went ahead in the second leg.
The slip, here's Rafael Leao. It's a magnificent run by Rafael Leao, and still he goes on, and still he goes on. It's Giroud! What a goal! Well, he's had two chances, Olivier Giroud. This one he couldn't miss. The third created absolutely brilliantly by Leao. He runs some 70 yards, he evades three really strong challenges, and then cuts the ball back superbly for Olivier Giroud. Here it is, Ndombele mistake. Leao picks it up, runs away from Ndombele, skips past the skipper, pass for Ahmed, and then cuts it back superbly for Giroud to tap home from 6 yards. What a contribution from Leao. It was a sensational run.
Well, Leao to Giroud, and Giroud converting after missing a penalty earlier in that match. As far as this one is concerned, Real Madrid in the opening stages, but they have looked really comfortable in this first half, Eric. But then Chelsea stepped up on a couple of occasions. Kante there, and N'Golo Kante should have done much better from inside the box.
Yeah, I mean, I always ask myself with Madrid if they look nervous in the first half or not. But Chelsea had their moments where they were pressing really good, winning it high, creating chances. But I think it's a story that Madrid has experienced a lot. Even here we see the composure in the defending. And then they're actually able to create some quality moments. This is not one of them.
Yeah, Benzema should have done better there.
But we saw some great combination football. I think we see it right here where Modric end up on the side. Great run from Vinicius in there. And I mean, usually this is a goal.
Yeah, usually that's converted.
And I think Madrid is somewhat feeling the pressure, but they won't be nervous in the dressing room right now.
This is the chance, though. Cucurella. That should have been burned. But what a wonderful save from the former Chelsea custodian.
Yeah, great save, but this has to be a goal. I think this should be just a one-touch finish, get it on target, because you give him time with the touch for the keeper to slide over to the other side and make himself big. And Courtois is big. This has to be a one-touch finish, but as mentioned, where are the goal scorers on the team that have that instinct?
Brent, I'm not sure if you can explain the situation in that first half. They've even had more chances in the first half than they did in the first half of the first leg, but yet the issue with Chelsea has always been the inability to convert.
Yeah, and they've continued in the same vein. I think obviously Eric mentioned the role of Kante. I would like to also throw in Gallagher in that vein as well. But not when you have someone like it with Felix's ability on the bench. It really scratches my head. But yeah, they've gotten into situations, but when you look at their execution in the final third, it has been poor. And they just haven't had the right sort of players in that sort of area to execute. And that's been the challenge, whether it be Cucurella, whether it be Kante, those sorts of players, of course, getting on top of the box, but they just don't have the ability to unlock defensive. And that's why we see what we see. And Real Madrid's quite comfortable. Yes, of course, Chelsea would have had possession, but I think Real Madrid is quite comfortable in this game still.
Juan Arango, please forgive me. Please forgive me. I'd like you to go into the mindset of one Frank Lampard here. Was speaking off camera with Eric, saying that he decided to go with players of industry who work hard, who can defend from the top. Is that the thinking why he would have chosen like a Gallagher as opposed to a Joao Felix in that number 10 role?
Look, to be honest with you, I mean, to start looking at industry before precision up top, then we see what part of the problem is. But you need to, in a situation where you're behind 2 goals, industriousness is only going to get you so far. You need a player to come in and finish. And the players that have had the best opportunity really aren't the first ones that roll off your tongue when you start saying, hey, you know what? So-and-so needs to score. You don't think of Cucurella. You don't think of Kante as a goal-scoring threats. You need those types of players. I mean, yet again, Brent has talked about it. Eric has talked about it. We've all discussed it time and time again so far in this broadcast that what is missing in Chelsea is a legitimate goal scorer, and they don't have it on the pitch right now. They might have it on the bench, but we still don't know yet.
Yep, we're going to take a quick break, guys. We're going to continue this discussion right after this. Stay with us. We have another 45 minutes to look ahead to in this one between Chelsea and Real Madrid, 0-0 at the halftime interval. Gentlemen, we have about 60 seconds remaining. I think that's enough time for you to put forward the changes that you'd make from a Chelsea standpoint, because they need the goals in the second half. Starting with you, Eric.
I get back to it. I would put Kante at the 6 and really put someone in that position that...
You drop Enzo?
I would take off Enzo and put somebody in an attacking position in that midfield that can still join the press but has some attacking drive with them and quality in there. Felix, Pulisic, Ziyech, who played that role at Ajax, and I can have to risk it a little more.
One?
I would push up Enzo Fernandez. I would do that more than anything else. Drop back Kante a little bit more, and he's probably more well-rounded defensively. Bring in, like Eric said, Ziyech, Joao Felix, maybe even Raheem Sterling.
For who?
Well,
Gallagher?
You'd have to take Gallagher.
All right.
Top of the list, if not Havertz as well.
Brent, what are you doing?
Both.
Yeah, the boys have said it well. Certainly, as I've just said, I would look at Joao Felix for Gallagher. I'd look at Ziyech. I think that's a good addition as well. But I'd look for players that could stretch Real Madrid a bit more. And of course, I'm looking for players to break the line. Of course, Kante would have to drop back into a 6th position for me. But they certainly need to get more bodies forward.
This is looking to be a really intriguing one. Can Chelsea come back in this second leg? Remember that they are trailing 2-0 on aggregate. It's presently 0-0 at the halftime interval. We'll be here to wrap it up at the end of this second half. But for now, we go back to Stamford Bridge. Chelsea, Real Madrid.